heartbeat of a summer's day. Dreamers with laughter that won't fade away. We built our lives with hope in our hands. Friends, lovers, souls with unbroken plans. Our voices rang out like a song in the air, bound by the love we were destined to share. But a darkness crept in with a cold, bitter sting, tried to silence the joy that our spirits would sing. Its empty shadow could never define the light we carry, the lives that were mine. We are more than the sorrow, more than the fight, more than the darkness that stole us from sight. Not just a memory lost to the pain. We're the fire that burns, will always remain. Oh, for those left behind, hold our light in your heart. We're the love that lives on, never torn apart. We chased our dreams under wide open skies, with courage that sparkled in bright, fearless eyes. Our homes were alive with the stories we told, warmth in our smiles, our future so bold. They thought they could end us, but they'll never see. Our spirits are endless, forever set free. That evil was nothing, a thief in the night, but we're the dawn that still carries the light. Not victims, not shadows, not bound by their lies. We're the hope that still shines in your tear-filled eyes. We are more than the sorrow, more than the fight, more than the darkness that stole us from sight. Not just a memory lost to the pain. We're the fire that burns, will always remain. Oh, for those left behind, hold our light in your heart. We're the love that lives on, never torn apart. No silent screams, no empty goodbyes. We're the warmth in your soul, the stars in your skies. Not a moment of evil, not a mark of despair. We're the dreams that you carry, the love in the air. Sing for us, live for us, let our spirits soar.
Hey, all right. Yay. Is who alive? Where the hell is Phoenix? Is he alive? What? What did I miss? Is who alive? Okay, well, I had a song that I was going to play. It's called Ripple of the Heart. And it's y'all know that August is Overdose Awareness Month. And I have been I think I've been sort of keeping up, trying to keep y'all updated on everything that was going on. And so, to give my son's death purpose, I started Those Left Behind and Dabo's Kennels. And I need 4 kennels at a sober living house so that, I don't know if y'all are aware of this or not, but when you're in the throes of addiction, sometimes that little furry creature, or that big furry creature, or whatever is like your lifeline to everything. And there's a lot of people that's not willing to give up that dog to go to treatment. So we started working on Debo's kennels, and you can see that the kennels, they're very well made. They're 10 by 6. They have a graded floor. They have a fan. They have a doghouse. You can see in the very back there, the doghouse is built on. They have the tarps that are sewn together to where it's like a tent, and you can roll it up and, keep the wind or the rain off and stuff like that. Um, and right there, you can see the graded floors. That's the doghouse right there. And I love the way the doghouse is built onto the um, kennel. That way, they don't, I mean, they're always protected from the weather, the sun, stuff like that. And a lot of people, didn't understand why we didn't just get crates and put them in their rooms. But a lot of people don't understand that OSHA, and I mean, there's so many laws, because even though it's recovery, it's still considered a hospital and it still needs to be sanitary and sanitized. But at least this way, if they're not in classes or, going through whatever, counseling and group sessions and stuff like that, they can at least be outside with their little friend. And I requested the fans because I didn't want, a dog out like in the heat or anything like that. So that's what I've been doing because that gives David's death purpose. And I haven't seen close second. Phoenix! Where is Phoenix? Sorry, y'all. Boy, I just interrupted my son's purpose. I'm so sorry. Wow. Sorry, David. Um, so I've been knee deep in fundraising. Um, I have a GoFundMe. I'm not very good at, I mean, I'm good at fundraising, but for myself, it's really hard. Not for myself, but for, I guess, my own fundraising, I guess. I mean, on TikTok, I raised money for Ukraine. I raised money to get a headstone for a mom and her daughter. I mean, I raised money for to bury a child. I mean, but it's really different when I'm out there myself doing the fundraising for, I guess, David's purpose or for my charity or whatever. So y'all forgive me. I'm not real good at it. So we're gonna get right on in on the um, cover. And I was watching Daniel's live, so shout out Drunk Turkey. And then shout out, I think it was Backwoods. I think he asked Daniel to pull up an address. And so Daniel did. And if y'all remember, it was this house. Well, the house is over to the right. What I'm concentrating on is the garage and the barn. And then I found another house. If you'll see, there's a red barn. And now this is like on Johnson Road. It's like 15, 20 minutes from Pullman. And you can tell by these 3 pictures just how way out in the nothing that these places are. This is the one that Daniel looked up. And I mean, you can see that the house is in the middle of nowhere. I mean, so with the house being being for sale, we know that, there's probably not any power. So I thought about the farm, the farming equipment and the barns and stuff like that, because of course, they're going to have the big barns. And so when I researched this one, and this is just to give you a clue of what I'm about to talk about. This is the house with the trees right there in the bottom left, and that shows you the terrain. So, I mean, we're talking middle of nowhere. And then this is the Johnson Road, and there's Pullman. So that's how close it is. And then we get to this, which is from the police docs. And it's talking about that he bought a 1,000 watt continuous inverter, and then he went back and bought a 2,000 to 4,000 watt inverter. And for those of y'all that don't know much about inverters, let me tell you, a 2,000 or 4,000 watt inverter will run a washing machine. I mean, you can plug a washing machine in and wash your clothes outside if you need to. Well, you'd have to have enough water to fill it, but this is what a 1,000 watt looks like. No, this may be a 2,000. But anyway, you can tell that it's got three places to plug regular plugs. And so what happens is, I know this because I was in an 18-wheeler for about 10 years. And to have a microwave, a TV, and stuff like that, a laptop and all that, we would put an inverter in the sleeper of the truck. And I could have an electric skillet, a microwave. I mean, I've sat on the sleeper of the bed and cooked zucchini and squash and, I mean, big meals in the cab of a truck from this inverter. And so it also says that he bought a 6-foot inverter wire. So what this does is ours would hook directly to the battery, and it would stay, they would like straight wire it, I guess. And it would stay hooked up all the time, and you just turn the power on and off when you're going to use it or not. Um, so sorry, my grand first son just came in. But so anyway, the wires, they attach to the battery cables, and so that's where your electricity comes from. So, and what the hell is he doing with that? It's what I'm going to explain to you, Kylie. I think you're going to like it. So anyway, so you've got your inverter, you've got a house that's for sale, you've got an empty barn, but no power. So you pull your car into that empty barn, and you hook you up a floodlight, and you buy you all this to give you your electricity with a floodlight. Then you go buy one of these little things. This is a steamer, okay? And as you can see, they work wonderful on cars. They work wonderful on carpets, steaming it, okay? Now, I did a lot of research as far as biohazard cleanup in cars, like from drive-by shootings and stuff like that. This is exactly how they do it. They hook it up to everything. They throw the steam on there. And I know I downloaded more pictures than that. But anyway, along with the steam, you also get, it can be a vacuum. It can be, but then they make, let me see if I can get these pictures. Hang on. Let me guess. They're on the other phone. I'll make you think, bark at me. I don't know if y'all can still hear me. Just give me a second. I'm arguing with a dog. Sorry, y'all. He wanted some sugar. He's a big red-nosed pit. If you had any idea how many people I ask in another site trying to figure this out, you know anything about hunting birth certificates? Yes, I do. Okay. Now, they make what they call a drill brush. Okay. Now, you get a regular drill, and they come with these car cleaning kits, and they're soft brushes that go on a drill. And you go to Walmart, Target, you go any kind of car place, and you get what's called an enzyme cleaner. And all that does is it breaks the enzymes loose that's in that blood. Okay? And you take that you take and you steam the whole inside of the car, the trunk, because Daniel mentioned he got rid of the rim and the tire. So now that's all that's left in there is going to be like that indoor outdoor carpet looking stuff that's in the trunk. So you're protected from the weather. You're not sitting on the side of the road because you're using either a rundown house, a rundown barn, or something like that because you've got the inverter for all the power you need. You've got a floodlight, you've got the steamer, you've got the drill, you've got the drill brushes, you've got everything you need, and you're in the cover of this. So, and with it only being 15, 20 minutes from Pullman, hell, all you got to do is skip school the next day, which I think he did, and you go and you spend the day in the little barn that nobody's buying the house. It's been on the market forever. So there's not, like, what is that? There's not people coming through or open house or anything like that. It's just sitting out there in the middle of nowhere. And you lock yourself into the barn, you turn your floodlight on, and you steam the hell out of the car. You get your enzyme cleaner, you get your drill brushes, you scrub those seats, and you can tell right here she's doing the vents and everything with that steamer. And you know how they talked about that there was no dust, there was no anything? I mean, so hey Leslie, hey squirrel. Um, So that's all you've got to do is steam the inside. And even if it's just the initial cleaning, okay? Because we know that the car was parked in the garage in Pennsylvania and they found the bucket of bleach and everything. So we know that he was still cleaning, okay? But a setup like this, with your initial cleaning, it gets rid of anything and everything. And then all you do is you buy a black light. And you take a black light and you put it over the seats and you put it over the carpet and everything. And if anything glows or anything, then you take peroxide and you spray everything with peroxide. Now, everybody knows that on a wound or anything like that, peroxide bubbles. Same thing in a car. Same thing on the carpet, any of the floor mats, anything plastic, rubber, it doesn't matter. You spray that peroxide. If it doesn't bubble, there's no enzymes. If there's no enzymes, there's no blood, there's no DNA. So that was my quick little version of why I think he bought inverters. And if you'll notice, this one right here, it has 3 plugs. So even with just this one and not the 1,000-watt one, because the 1,000-watt one has 2 plugs. Now, the thing about it is you may have to, I don't think you could hook both of them to a car battery. I mean, you could keep your car running and definitely have enough power for this one. But even at that, okay, so your floodlight's going to stay on constantly. So that's one plug. If you're not using the steamer, you unplug it. If you're not using the drill, you unplug it. So you've still got plugs to go around. And that's plenty enough plugs to clean the whole car, especially when you've got 6-foot cables like he bought. You're talking 6-foot cables, not counting the length of whatever the plugs are that's on each item. And with a steamer, I'm going to say they come with at least 10 foot. I mean, a drill, they come with pretty long cords. Or even if you're using cordless stuff, you can plug, say he's got a battery on one, he can keep another battery plugged up while he's using that battery. So even if he has cordless stuff, he can use the inverter to keep the power to keep 1 or 2 batteries charged while he cleans the whole car. Hey, Bianca, I hadn't seen you in forever. So, and that, that's just food for thought. It's just when I saw inverters, like I said, spending so many years on the truck, I mean, if we had eat out every day, we would have starved to death. So I learned to buy groceries because we always had a refrigerator on the truck and a microwave. And so then all I did was buy me electric skillet that was also a griddle and a grill. And every meal we ate was I cooked it sitting on the bed on a table that pops out, and we had meals. We didn't eat out. And so that's how I knew when I saw the inverters, I was like, oh my gosh, that's how he cleaned the car, is with the inverter. I mean, that's how he got his power supply. And y'all can tell there ain't nobody coming out here and checking on you. And if you're locked in this barn right there and you've got your floodlight on and you can see and you can use your black light and you've got plenty of time, and boom, your initial car cleaning is done. I wouldn't doubt. I mean, hell, out there, all you got to do is clean that rim and that tire real good. And hell, if you're going to get rid of it, leave it in the barn. They won't nobody ever put together that it belonged to him. I mean, so what do y'all think? Logical? Illogical? Crazy? Leslie, that is a very good question, but I literally watched them put peroxide spray. It's 3%. They put the peroxide spray on the black carpet and it bubbled up white as ever because that was the first thing that I thought about was peroxide. Want that? But it's not bleach, it's just peroxide. Nobody is going to think, right, exactly. I mean, you know, he can sit there, you take tools, take screwdrivers. He could dismantle the whole car out there. I mean, because come on, I'm not being mean and I'm not being rude, but Koberger doesn't have a ton of friends that if he goes missing for a couple of hours or a whole day, they're not gonna send out a squad hunting him because Koberger's missing because he don't have a whole lot of friends that's gonna know he's missing. So as long as he acts right and keeps his shit together and doesn't go into panic paranoid mode and goes missing to dismantle a car and clean it, I think he's just right. Questions? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about it is if he could do one swoop as far as that initial clean, just to get anything that I guess could be noticeable or seen by the naked eye or something like that, or if there's blood on the seats that would like get on his clothes or something, just that first initial clean, then he could go back to the same spot every day and work on this seat, work on this door, go back the next day. I mean, come on, he had 6 weeks, and we already know that he was in the basement cleaning it in Pennsylvania. So peroxide would actually work better than standard bleach because yeah, that's what I was telling them is it breaks down the enzymes. And oh my gosh, Tanka, thank you so much. I haven't seen you in forever. And like I said, y'all, this is not anything that's in the court documents. This is not anything. This is just me seeing that document where he bought the inverter, and when it said that he bought a 2,000 watt inverter, I knew at that from being in a 18 wheeler that a 2,000 watt inverter, we could run a microwave. Our refrigerator stayed constantly running, and that was on a 2,000 watt inverter. And we just plugged our refrigerator and microwave in. Now, with the 2,000 inverter, I will say that unless we had the truck running, if we turned the truck off, If I tried to do like the electric skillet and the microwave, it would run the battery down. So we'd have to run the truck until I got finished cooking. But the thing about it is, I mean, there, especially if you get a house like this one that I just showed y'all that has been for sale forever and has the big barn. I mean, you can see the big barn door where you can just shut it behind you and hook you up a spotlight. And if you look at that terrain, come on, y'all. There ain't nobody coming hunting Coburger. And even if somebody does come down the road, he's in a barn. I mean, the only way that somebody would see even the floodlight on would be if it's pitch dark. And hell, you could always, you know, throw black plastic up or something to block that. I mean, I'm not going to get too in depth, but there's ways around where the lights wouldn't even show through the barn door. I mean, and but with the house being for sale forever, there's not a lot of traffic coming through. There's not a lot of interest in it, so the people that would be coming down that road would be people that probably live on that road, you know. And I don't know about y'all, but if I lived out like that, yeah, Nina's butt's going to town once a week or something. I ain't going all the way out there, or I'm having Walmart delivered, and you can guarantee Walmart's not paying attention if a light's on in the barn. But what amazed me was it said that you could use Dawn dish soap because it breaks down the enzymes. They highly recommend just the hydrogen peroxide because, like Tanka said, it oxidizes it. So, and then you get you a regular black light, turn all the lights out, put it all over the car, and if anything lights up, rub some more. I mean, y'all can tell that terrain. I mean, look, and that house has been for sale forever. Now, this house right here, this one was for sale forever, ever, ever. And I don't even think I have the house on it. I think I've just got the big red barn. And it looks like old chicken houses or something. But this house just sold in February of 2025. So in 2022, it was just sitting out in the middle of nowhere empty. What y'all think? Am I crazy? Well, we all know I'm crazy. So, but I think that would come closer to, um, oh, and for the people that's just come in, I was telling them at the beginning that I got an order for 4 of these kennels for Dabo's Kennels. It's not at a rehab center. They're going to be at a sober living house. There's 4 of them. These things sell for $1,200, and I have a guy that's building them for me for 500. He builds them on site. They're anchored. You can tell right here. You can tell where they're anchored. Um, and then you can see the ties and everything where you can tie the tarp. It's not tarp. I guess it's tent material. I guess would be more like it. Sort of like in a tent how you can roll the how you've got the mesh, but then you've got the little window that you can put down at night, and you can roll it up and tie it. That's what these are, and it protects them from the cold. It protects them, from the rain. You can put them down like this one is. If you'll notice the other one on the other side, because this is where we've already got 2 at, but the kennel on the other side, um, its picture, and I should have took a picture of it, is the this panel is down too, to where if there's a storm or something, I mean, they are completely protected from any kind of storm. the doghouse is built onto it to where they go straight from being outside to the doghouse for safety and for safety from the weather. And then, of course, I requested a fan for them. And the graded floor is easy for cleanup and stuff like that. And like I said, he builds them on site. And August is Overdose Awareness Month. So I'm doing a GoFundMe to get our 4 kennels. They're gonna be in Montgomery, Alabama. Um, I send paperwork. I don't I ain't I ain't into no scamming or making a profit or nothing like this. This is to honor my son and to give his death purpose, and so that's what we do is Dabo's Kennels. And like I said, I'm a hell of a fundraiser, but I don't do real well when it comes to, I guess, I don't want to say asking for myself because it's not for me. Um, it's it's for David. No, it's not for David. It's for the people that don't want to leave their dogs behind and get treatment, and that way they can take their dog to treatment with them. And when they get out and they're getting their life straight, then they still have their dog and they don't have to give it up. And that means the world to some people. So, um, wow. Um, but yeah, I told y'all this was going to be a short one, unless y'all have questions or something that y'all would like to discuss. I mean, I think that the reason for the inverters is totally for car cleanup. I mean, like I said, and going back to the peroxide, like I said, I watched a video of them spraying the peroxide on black and it bubbling up and everything. So, I mean, see, Chloe said that she uses peroxide on bloodstains. So, oh, tip for girlies. Yay. See, there you go. But, I mean, it's just something to think about. I mean, like I said, he's out. He's a canvas. Thank you, Leslie Billy. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. See, Lucy, exactly. Did you know? I'm gonna tell you. I don't know if you were in here a minute ago when my daughter's red nosed pit came in. He's actually her emotional support dog. And I'll be honest with you, if you told my daughter you've got to leave Ramy, I'll say to go to the hospital. She wouldn't go, much less to rehab. And when I was on TikTok, there was a guy in Texas. He was in Lubbock, Texas, and he wanted out of Texas, away from everybody. So I got a place in New Orleans. Got a grant. I got a grant and everything to get him to not New Orleans to go to Louisiana, and we had it set up for his dog and everything because we were going to have some. We were going to have him carpool him to Louisiana, like drive so far, meet somebody, drive so far. And one of the people bailed out, so we were going to have to put him on a plane to get him there in time, and he couldn't take his dog. And he flat refused. He wouldn't go. And it was right then that I knew what I was going to do in David's name was I was going to put kennels at rehab facilities and sober living houses so that nobody would ever have to. I mean, I know right now I don't, I've got 18 up now, but that's 18 people that can go to rehab and not leave their dog behind. And then after they graduate, that's another 18. And if it's up to me, I mean, they're outside, so they don't bother any kind of, you know, sanitation laws or sanitizing laws or anything like that because they're outside, you know. And I knew then that that's what my goal was going to be is to team up because right now everything's just in Alabama. But I knew that my life was going to be dedicated to putting kennels at rehab facilities. And then we also put two, and this one came. I mean, this is not something I thought of. They actually asked me to do it. Was we put two at 911 domestic violence because when they approached me for it, they were talking about that uh, this is for like the ones that are leaving during the night while the person's asleep, and it's grab the kids, get in the van, and let's go. And of course, these kids are already going through this trauma of being jerked out of their house for their safety. I'm not saying that mean like, but of course they can't take their dog. What if where they're going don't allow dogs? What if they're going to a shelter? What if they're going to, you know? So they actually approached me, and we put one at two 911 emergency safe places, safe houses to where nobody knows where they are. But that's kids that have to leave during the night, and they don't have to leave their dog because there's a kennel for the dog to go to. And that one, I have to say that I mean it warmed my heart. Hey, Vonna, thank you for being here. And let me read this. Lucy Day, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I'm actually just giving purpose to my son's death. And if I don't do that, then my son's in a cold ground for nothing. So this is how we chose to honor David, and with it being Overdose Awareness Month, it just sort of it fell into place, and that's the reason I've been MIA, is I've been working on getting these kennels. But I mean, getting the order for the kennels, I'm not going to say it's not hard, because you have to, when you go to these places, you have to show them how it can not only benefit the patient, but it can also benefit them, as I hate to say it, as far as business goes. Because if you get down to it, rehabs are a business. I mean, um, and so when I go to them, I have to show them that, hey, look, you're offering something that a lot of facilities don't offer. And, you know, the people that bring their dogs, I mean, I'm sure we could put a cat in there. I mean, I've got to think about that. I'm sort of feel ashamed because I didn't think about cats, but cats are just as important. So now I've got to rethink that. I mean, because actually, one that size for cats, I mean, you could actually, for cats, you could actually make one into like four, and they would still have room to like play and stuff like that. So yeah, that opens up a whole new one. But like I said, when I go to the facilities, I have to show them how it can increase their business. And I hate to put it like that, but we all know that rehab facilities are businesses just like hospitals. I mean, I hey Kel. And so there's very few rehab centers that you can take your dog. Now, I do know that there are groups that will house your dog or foster your dog, and stuff like that. But this way, you get to take that dog with you. And I'll definitely do some research on the cats too, because we'll just say your animal. How about we say that? Have a cat. And if see, there you go, Lucy. I mean, now if y'all think about that, think about somebody that is in active addiction, in crisis, and they will not go because they can't take the pet that they love. And then they overdose the next day. No, I can't, I can't do it. I mean, if taking your dog to rehab with you could save your life, let's get some kennels up. Let's put some dogs in a kennel, and you can take them with you. Let's get some cats in a kennel. Let's get some whatever's in a kennel. I don't care if it's a raccoon, if it's your pet and it's who you love and it's your companion and it keeps you alive and it keeps you from doing crazy stuff, then let's just do it. Let's get the stuff up. Let's get it done and start saving some lives in more ways than, and I'm not saying that anything I'm doing is greater than anybody else, but instead of talking about problems, let's be some solutions. You know, okay, fine, you can't take your pet. You know what? We got a facility that's an hour away that you can take your pet. And if you're in California, I'll hook you up with a facility in California. So let's, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I've already told y'all, my daughter would not go to the hospital if she had to leave her dog. So I know for a fact that there are people out there in active addiction that if they run the risk of losing what, you got to consider that somebody in active addiction, to them, that companion, that furry animal or whatever, I don't care if it's a snake. Let's put some snakes somewhere. Whatever is their companion at that time. That may be the only companion that they have that they trust to stay, that they trust to be by their side, that they trust to be there when no human is. So when you're asking them to leave that and to give that up, and you're asking them to give the drugs up, no, you're going up against two walls right there. So if we knock one wall down and say, pet's not a problem, we got you covered, dude. You ready to go? Let's go. Then we start saving lives. Oh, sorry, y'all. I get a little passionate about that. It's a positive for rehab to incorporate pet shelter into the facility. Yes, and see, I mean, the thing about it, Dr. Vana, is you can tell there's. I've got this is actually a picture of three, and you can see on the other side there's another one, and so it doesn't take a whole lot of room. I mean, they're 10 by 6, so we're talking, maybe a little bit of yard. Come on, I'll go plant the grass for you. I mean, well, as a matter of fact, they're on graded. No, I ain't putting them on cement because the sun would the cement would draw the sun. They got to have some kind of grass. It's the one thing that loves. Exactly. There you go, Vana. I mean, and we're asking, you know, it's already going to be hard enough to get them to agree to rehab. But when you throw that hitching post in there of you got to leave your companion behind, I guarantee you'll lose every time because that's where they pretty much draw the line. Hey, Lucy, let's do it. I want them in every state. I want them in every city. I want them in every rehab facility, every sober living, every 911 domestic violence shelter. I mean, let's do it. I mean, I'm willing to work with anybody. I'm willing to team up with anybody. Like I said, this one, these four, I guess, just fell right into place with it being August for overdose awareness. And, I've got about 2 weeks. And I mean, y'all can look these up. They're 10 by 6 and look up kennels that are anchored, built on site, 10 by 6, graded floors, fans, doghouse, sidings, everything. And I can guarantee you that they're $1,200 or above. Aw. Now, see, I had actually thought about that too. Was, you could, you know, I don't know how we would do it, but because you could actually do that to where if you had the kennels, then you could take homeless dogs and you could match them up to people in rehab. And that way, when they graduated from rehab, they could take their dog with them. That way, you're helping the homeless pets and someone in rehab. Because I had thought about that angle too. But when you get into that, then that when you go for that business proposal, then you get into okay, now it becomes the rehab facilities place to feed them and make sure that everything's taken care of and everything. Where if you do it as the patient's responsibility, it's their responsibility to clean up after their dog. It's their responsibility to make sure that their dog has food. It's their responsibility to maintain it while they're there. And to me, that also instills that responsibility that we're trying to instill in someone that's going through recovery. A couple of the rehabs have accommodations for animals, especially the ones. Yeah. And see, I couldn't. Do they have them inside Tanka? Because everywhere that I have dealt with, I can't get to the. Can't we just put a crate in their room? Because I have to admit that would be a whole lot cheaper, as if you could just crate them in their room. But most people are like, no, we can't crate an animal in here. We're a hospital, you know. I know I was looking for one for all the feral cats tents. They are so little expensive and not well made. Yeah. I mean, see, I had to go with something like this because these are going to be there for years. I mean, we're going to maintain them and stuff like that. Or, if they get shabby, we'll switch them out or whatever. But these are built long term. They're built. I mean, the metal and everything is galvanized. I've got it all. I guess I should have came more prepared. But I mean, like I said, I've only got 18 of them, so I shouldn't say only 18 because that's 18 people that get to go to rehab. And like I said, when they graduate, that's 18 more people that get to go to rehab. But you know what? I said that if David's death could save one life, sorry, yeah. I said that if David's death could save one life, then that would have given his death purpose. And I'll never forget when I was on TikTok, I received a message, and it was a husband and a wife videos, and that they went to go get some stuff, and that all she could hear was one of David's videos, and that they turned around and went home. And I knew then that David's death would have purpose. Oh, wow. Whew. David will be gone 6 years, October the 1st of this year. And one night I'm gonna do a live, and I'll tell y'all how the the facts of David's death, because it was it was an overdose that took 5 days. And so, Nina, you're doing wonders. Your son is so fucking proud of you. Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all. I mean, You know, y'all have heard me say it too many times that David's death will reach more people. David's death will reach more people than his life ever would have. And that has probably already been proven true from my 2.5 years on TikTok and from my time here with y'all. And it is my responsibility to make sure that his death keeps having purpose because I will not allow him to just lay over there in a cemetery for nothing. And I guess that's the reason that I've never asked why, is because I'll tell anybody God Himself could come down here and sit beside me and He could say, "This is why." And I'd look at him and I'd say, "That ain't good enough. Your why is not good enough." So if it's not ever going to be good enough, then why ask it? And the thing about it is, if I ask why and I have to have the answers, then where's my faith? The only way that I have faith is going with what happened, giving it purpose, and knowing that it happened for a reason. It happened for a purpose. And that's the only way that I can go forward with it. Yes, I did. I got to spend 5 days with him, Vonna. And I look back at it now and I feel so guilty for those 5 days. Because as much as I thank God for those 5 days, I think about him knowing the prognosis. And I think about him laying there knowing that his heart's going to stop, but not knowing when. And I think, my God, how can I be so grateful for something that put my son through such hell? Oh, Lord, we got deep tonight. Oof. Sorry, y'all. I'm not usually like that. Sorry. I didn't mean to. I came on here to. I came on here to explain about these things. Whew. Anyway, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Acceptance is the key to every door. Exactly, Tanka. I'd be willing to help. Hey, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I could not. I could not have dreamed that when I left TikTok, because I lived on TikTok every day for addiction and recovery. And when I walked away from TikTok, I would have never have dreamed that I could have been sitting in true crime, in a true crime community, discussing exactly what I discussed on TikTok and reaching people in a true crime community. But it shouldn't shock me. We lose a beautiful soul every 11 minutes. And one night I'm going to do a live and I'm going to put a timer that goes off every 11 minutes. And if y'all have never done that, take an hour, 1 hour out of your day and just set a timer off to the side that goes off every 11 minutes. And every time that timer goes off, you know that another soul has gone to heaven. And it will hit you pretty hard. Know your son adores you. He feels hugs you, Nina. It's not your fault. But look, he's right there with you every little step. Not sadly. You know what? You're absolutely right. And that's one of the things that I said, y'all know how I feel about the families of, true crime and stuff like that. And that's the reason I'm bringing true crime. I mean, bringing Those Left Behind to true crime is when we bury our children, it skips your heart. It pierces your very soul. Half of my soul is gone. I have 2 children, so half of my soul is in heaven already. Yes, David is with me every step of the way. And I can tell you right now that I actually, I've been worried about the families now that, you know, the chaos is settling down, which I thought it was going to settle down. Sometimes I think it got worse. But when he pled guilty and everything, I thought, man, when the quiet hits, that's when it's going to hit these parents. Because for almost 3 years, they have been so consumed with the rumors, the chaos, the investigation, the meanness, the interviews, just the chaos of everything. And so when he pled guilty and got sentenced and everything, I thought, man, when that quiet hits, when Christy and Steve are sitting there in the quiet, when Miss Chapin and Jim are sitting there, when all the parents are sitting there and that quiet hits, that's the reason the song that I wrote for David is called Silent Screams. Because when that silence hits, it is nothing but deafening, silent echoes. Aw, thank y'all. Y'all are so wonderful. So, like I said, I have a GoFundMe, and look. Y'all know I'm a receipt person. Y'all know I take pictures, receipts. I mean, um, everything. I'm not out for anything for this. This is first of all, I'm not going to do anything to disrespect my son's memory. So, for anybody that's interested in helping, for anybody that's interested in discussing how to do this in your own city, I mean, I don't need the credit for this. If y'all want to do it in your own cities, it doesn't have to be Dabo's Kennels. I'm not doing this for prestige or to get my name out there or anything like that. I mean, I would love to have Dabo Kennels all over the United States, all over the world, just because it says Dabo. But it doesn't have to be Dabo's Kennels. The thing about it is if we can start saving lives, we might can get a hold of this drug. And I call it a pandemic because it's beyond epidemic. But, if we can all get together and start working on solutions, you know, and crowdfunding and making this stuff happen, I never even knew what crowdfunding was. I had no idea what crowdfunding was. Um, but I'm sorry I went deep. I really didn't mean to. Uh, no, I'm not sorry. That was talking about my son. I shouldn't apologize for that. Um, but back to Coburger. So we know that this this is the hypothetical area that I say because it's an empty abandoned house that was for sale with a big barn that is about 20 minutes from Pullman. We know that he bought a 1,000-watt inverter. We know he bought a 2,000 to 4,000 watt inverter, and we know that he bought 6-foot inverter cables. This is a picture of a 2,000-watt inverter with the 6-foot cables. It has 3 plugs. You hook those babies to the battery, you keep your car running. You take this little baby here, you steam the whole car, you steam the truck, you steam the wheel wells, you steam everything. Then you get you a drill, you get you some drill brushes and you get you some peroxide and some enzyme cleaner and you clean the shit out of that car and you're locked inside a barn and you don't need power because you've got your own power and you do your first initial cleaning. And like I said, this is just my opinion of it, of why you would buy an inverter. And you can tell that they ain't nobody coming and hunting you. And like I said, in order for people to come hunt you, you got to have friends to do it. And I don't think he had a whole lot of friends that was going to come hunting him if he went missing. I mean, he could have stayed gone the whole day. Nobody would have missed him. The wheel and the tire that Daniel said that he got rid of, leave it out in that barn. All you got to do is steam it, scrub it, make sure there ain't no DNA on it. I guarantee you that the people that does buy that house years from now, if it does sell, if they find a tire in the barn, they're either going to chunk it out on the road or just leave it in the barn. They're not anybody ever going to think, I wonder if that was Brian Koberger's tire from 2022. No. So that's the reason I think he bought an inverter, two inverters. I think that's the reason that he bought 6-foot inverter wires. And that's how I think that he got the car as clean as he got it, not counting that we know that the bucket of bleach was down in the garage and his car was locked up in the garage in Pennsylvania. So I thank y'all for everything. I I'm clueless on the GoFundMe because I don't even know how to share it. I guess I could make a video and share it, but I do have a GoFundMe, and it's under Dabo's Kennels. Um, and like I said, receipts. Anybody need receipts? Anybody need a tax write-off? Anybody need anything like that? I'm transparent. I'm not like I said. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to do anything to disrespect my son. And that to me would be just, oh man, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine somebody doing that. So don't even get me started on the kind of person that would do that. Hey, bad actors. But anybody that does want to help, greatly appreciated. It is definitely my son's legacy. It's not my legacy. It's my son's legacy. It's my son's purpose. Um, but like I said, let's get let's don't let's don't give an addict an excuse to not go to rehab. And I'm not saying that their companion, as far as a pet, is an excuse, but sometimes while we're in active addiction, we will use anything as an excuse to not go to rehab. So if we can start taking some of those excuses away, then we can start saving lives in more ways than one. And Lucy Day, I will check on doing something for cats because that was wrong of me. We've always been a dog family. David was a dog person, so that's how it ended up, being dog kennels. So I do apologize for not having something set for cats, but I will definitely put something together because, like I said, with the dimensions of 10 by 6 on this, um, for cats, and I'm not saying to put them in little bitty areas, but we could take and split that into 4 and give cats, because we could do them like on top of each other, you know, and give them plenty of room to stretch out. And, you know, as a matter of fact, you know what? The guy that builds these for me, what I might could do is, how they make those little like windows where they can sit in the sun and, see outside, because I mean, they're not in therapy and group sessions the whole time. I mean, even for cats, I mean, they can come out and hold their cat and spend time with it and everything. I mean, it's just that I can't. Every place that I've checked on consider themselves hospitals, so I can't get around putting the animals inside. So I will definitely do some research and do dog cat. How about that? And if I have to, if somebody comes up with something else, a chinchilla or something like that, we'll cross those bridges when we need to. How much does it cost to make one? I have a guy here in Alabama. These are $1,200 or above, and I have a guy here in Alabama that builds these on site for me for 500 a piece. It's the galvanized steel, uh, the tent like material for the roofs. Right here on the back, you can see the doghouse. It's all uh, sealed wood and everything for weather protection. So on the back, you see the doghouse. They are anchored. They put the wood legs into the cement, and they actually build the kennel on the anchored wood platform. Um, the sides, this is only one panel on each side is down, but there's another panel that comes down just like a tent. And, you can put them down and strap them down to where if weather comes along, um, or to keep them out of the sun, or, we usually, what I suggest is, if there's not any bad weather, then you keep the back ones closed to shade the doghouse, and then if they want to be out in the sun or something, they can come up towards the front. And so then in the front, I've got it marked. You can see the doghouse there. It's got the graded floor for easy cleanup. And then, of course, every one of them comes with a big fan, um, because I don't want an animal out in any of the weather. And so he builds them on site for me for 500 a piece, and my order is for four of them. So, and you can tell that they are sturdy. I mean, they are made to last. I mean, they're not flimsy. You're not. I mean, y'all saw the one that's on. Okay, like this picture here. You can see that there's one on the other side, and then on the front you can see the platform of another one. So that one's three, and they don't have to be very far apart. Um, and it's one dog per kennel. Now, I guess, if you have a patient that has more than one dog and all their dogs get along, then I guess we cross that bridge like that. But most of the ones that I've worked with so far has been one dog per kennel. And like I said, they're anchored and everything. I mean, a thunderstorm can come through and they're not going anywhere. So, and I mean, at first, the first two I did, I was like, that's $1,000. But for 500, I mean, you can look them up. You look up 10 by 6, graded floor, doghouse, fan, the galvanized steel, the anchored. You look them up, and I guarantee you won't find them no cheaper than 1,200 a piece. I sound like a salesman. Well, I mean, I have a GoFundMe, and then I've also got my Venmo and my PayPal. Um, that just sounds like that. I don't like to do it like that because then it sounds like that I'm raising money for me, and I don't want to get the lines crossed. That's the reason I do the GoFundMe, because that way, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but when I start saying, "Hey, I got a Venmo, I got a PayPal," it doesn't ring right with me, if that makes any kind of sense. All right, hang on. Let me go get it. Hang on. I don't think I've got it. Hang on. Let me see. I may have it pinned. I'm not sure. Let me see. Of course, I don't have it pinned. Okay, I'll be right back. There's the GoFundMe. Yes, Those Left Behind, Lucy, is Those Left Behind, and how it ended up as the nonprofit for Those Left Behind. And I mean, I agree with the Venmo. I mean, my Venmo is, yeah, I just now put it up at the top um, because y'all know that YouTube doesn't like me, so they didn't give me my monetization. So that's my Venmo up at the top with the little scanner thing. But to answer the question about the tax, yeah, the nonprofit. So what happened was when I was on TikTok, I started Those Left Behind, and every Sunday I had people that would come on and they would introduce us to their loved one as more than what killed them. My son is more than his addiction. My son is more than an overdose. My son is more than an addict. My son was kind. My son was loving. My son loved with an open heart. He was accepting. He was not prejudiced. He was not ugly. He was not. He had one of the purest souls. Sorry. David's soul was pure, and I always want him remembered for being Davo, not for being an addict. Sorry, y'all. I don't usually cry like this. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so every Sunday, I would have guests on, and they would introduce us to their son, their daughter, their friend, because what people need to realize is those left behind. Those left behind is not just in death. Those left behind are mothers and fathers and families of their kids out on the street. They don't know if they're eating. They don't know if they're hot. They don't know if they're cold. They don't know if they're overdosed. They don't know if they're alive. And I'll tell anybody right now, that's the worst, those left behind. Because that's parents that live their children's deaths every time that phone rings. That's parents that live their children's deaths every time they shut their eyes to go to sleep every morning when they wake up. I have finality with David. I know David's never walking through my door again, but I know that I give David's death purpose. And I know that David is proud of me, and I know David's walking with me. But I can't imagine waking up every morning wondering, is today the day? Wondering, is my baby hungry? Is my baby cold? I mean, and then those left behind is more than just overdose. I had a girl that her goddaughter got hooked on drugs. And because she got hooked on drugs, she went to be a lady of the night. When she became a lady of the night, it put her in the path of a serial killer. I had her on there. Why? Because addiction is what led that girl to that life that put her in the path of a serial killer. So we don't just lose them to overdose. We lose them to the addiction that puts them in a lifestyle that endangers their life. I had a girl that told about her best friend going and buying drugs. Somebody busted into the drug house, shot everybody, stole the drugs, and stole the money. She didn't die of an overdose. She died of a gunshot. But you know what? If she hadn't have been an addict, she wouldn't have been in a drug house buying drugs, and she would be alive today. So we don't just lose them to overdose. We lose them to the addiction. We lose them to the lifestyle. We lose them to what makes them go in the directions that they go that puts them in that danger. Oh, sorry, y'all. Y'all saw a pretty passionate Nina tonight. I do apologize. Uh, won't read them email. Can you email or message? Okay. Yeah. Hey, oh my gosh. My Venmo. What's it say on the scroller? I think it's on the scroller. I'm not sure. I think it's just Morning Label Nina on my Venmo. I know my PayPal is Nina the number 25 because I've got 5 grandkids, so it's Nina 25. So my PayPal is Nina 25, and my Venmo is Morning Label Nina. And oh my gosh, y'all, I was so unprepared because, like I said, this was not what this was supposed to be. But I thank y'all so much. Here it comes. Sorry, y'all. Oh no, I put it this way. I put the codes up in the corner. So, but yeah, as a matter of fact, if you go to my channel, my Venmo and my PayPal, the link is on in my channel. And that sounds so impersonal. I'm so sorry. I wasn't prepared for. I wasn't prepared, but yes, I'll be glad to message anybody, whatever you need. If you need tax papers, if you need nonprofit papers, if you need pictures, if you need, I mean, any kind of proof anybody needs, I've got it right handy. I can send it. I don't mind sending it. I don't mind posting it. You know, and I'll tell you this right now: anybody that would do something like that and dishonor the memory of their child, they need to be cellmates with Coburger. I've raised what? See, I hadn't even looked at my GoFundMe. I can't see it for the heart. If that says 80, I'm going to be shocked. You've raised like almost 80. Does that say $80? Sorry. Oh, I guess I could look right here. How how crazy! Yay! Look at us go, Dabo. Look at us go, Dabo. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are so awesome. And look, the thing about it is if you can't give, share it out. I mean, sharing it is just as important as giving, you know. Oh my gosh. Thank you, True Crime. Oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much. Wow. I'm speechless. I'm, I am. I'm speechless. Lucy, I am 13 years meth free. I stayed clean during burying David. And another thing is what y'all don't understand too about the parents, like Steve G and stuff like that, is sometimes the guilt and the regret can eat you up more than the death. And that's what I wish people could stop and realize is when I lost, you raised enough for a kennel. What? 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 What are y'all talking about? Hang on. What? 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 Hang on. I got. No way. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank y'all so much. No, I'm not the bomb. Y'all are the bomb. I don't know how I can ever thank y'all. Read True Crime. What? I just. Oh my God. Buffy, Buffy, Buffy. Wow. I don't know how I can ever thank you. Wow. I love you so much, Buffy. I love all y'all. Y'all just don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all save my life every day. Every day y'all save my life. I can never say thank you enough. So y'all got any questions about Coburger? Thank you, Mark. Oh wow. Ugh. I don't think y'all have ever seen Morning Label Speechless. Woo. Um. Wow. Hey, how about a song? Let's play a song. Let's play a song. Let's play a song. Okay, let's play a song. Woo. Well, where'd it go? Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay, well, that didn't work very well. All right, so let's do it this way. I want to be stubborn. I can do this. Oh, Lord. Hang on, y'all.
Harsh words, violent blows, hidden secrets, nobody knows. Eyes are open, hands are fisted. Deep inside, I'm warped and twisted. So many tricks, so many lies, too many wins, too many whys. Nobody's special, nobody's gifted. I'm just me, warped and twisted. Sleeping awake, choking on a dream. Listen loudly, my silence screams. Calm my mind, the numbers unlisted. Lost in someone, warped and twisted. On my knees, alive but dead. Look at all the blood I shed. I'm not gone, but my head's drifted. Don't expect much, I'm warped and twisted. Burnt out, wasted and hollow. Today's just yesterday's tomorrow. The sun dried out, the ashes sifted. I'm still here, warped and twisted.
And for those of y'all that do not know Doodlebug, y'all go and follow Doodlebug. Doodlebug does amazing, amazing, amazing work for the missing. Y'all, please go give Doodlebug a follow. That is, my gosh, that's got to be the most heart-wrenching way to spend your day. So Doodlebug, 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 thank you, thank you, thank you.
We were the heartbeat of a summer's day, dreamers with laughter that won't fade away. We built our lives with hope in our hands, friends, lovers, souls with unbroken plans. Our voices rang out like a song in the air, bound by the love we were destined to share. But a darkness crept in with a cold, bitter sting, tried to silence the joy that our spirits would sing. Its empty shadow could never define the light we carry, the lives that were mine. We are more than the sorrow, more than the fight, more than the darkness that stole us from sight. Not just a memory lost to the pain. We're the fire that burns, will always remain. Oh, for those left behind, hold our light in your heart. We're the love that lives on, never torn apart. We chased our dreams under wide open skies, with courage that sparkled in bright, fearless eyes. Our homes were alive with the stories we told, warmth in our smiles, our future so bold. the stars in your skies. Not a moment of evil, not a mark of despair. We're the dreams that you carry, the love in the air. Sing for us, live for us, let our spirits soar.
Oh, sorry. For some reason it cuts off. I don't know why, but it's let our spirits soar. Let's see. I don't know if y'all have ever heard this one, but this is the first one. Well, this is the one I wrote. Well, you'll see it. Why is it not going? This is the most important one and it won't go. Try again later. Why? Come on. That's crazy. Why will it not let me play it? Well, I'm coming, y'all. Hang on. Ah, okay. I don't know why it won't let me, but it's not letting me add anything. I think it's because my phone's overheating. Doodlebug, True Crime, Buffy, Lucy. Oh my gosh, there's so many in here. Um, Vonna. Vonna, you know that I'm free to do a live anytime. Anytime. I know that Daniel got the information from me, and the next live that he does, he's been gracious enough that he's going to actually share it. Um, please tell Mom Arctic. Aw, that's so sweet. Arctic, I love Arctic Fox. Lord in mercy, what y'all two doing? Y'all want to see what I'm up against here? Let's see. Let me do my rear facing. Oh, why is it not working? Oh, I guess I need to get it on me. They're my big doggy. Looky here. Look. Say, look at me. Here comes Roro. Here comes Roro. This is my daughter's. My camera's busted on the back of the phone. That's the reason it's not very good. This is her red-nosed pit. This is Rammy. Oh, Rammy. This is Dabby Doodle. She's whoop, Lord, okay. Oh, Lord. Oh, gosh. I know it. I hear you, Roro. You know, here you go. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, these babies, they now y'all know how big red-nosed pits are, right? So there's Roro. This is Dabby. Look, he goes under her. That's how tall she is. She's Great Pyrenees and Husky. And that's not poop, that's her sock. And she is my baby. Not well, y'all know Moo Moo. Moo Moo is my little man. So, but no, I'm not doing a live with Daniel. It's he's gonna share the GoFundMe information uh on his live. But y'all know that, furry pets, they can save people's lives. And we need, just like we're doing, we need to give them a place to go and be with their owners so their owners can get some help. And so, Vonna, you let me know when we'll put it together. I'm available to go live with anybody. I can't do it tomorrow night because I do have a live with Gage. We're doing Steve Avery. I had actually forgot about that case. Um, y'all know that me and Gage, we like brother and sister. So we fight, we make up, we fight, and we make up. Not saying that we're fighting. We're not fighting, or I wouldn't be going live with him. Everybody knows that about Gage. So, but hey, we all we all just we all need each other. You know, I've got quirks that people don't like. I've got quirks that people can't stand, but that's okay. Y'all can love me through it. So, and y'all, um, that's what I want to do tomorrow. What time tomorrow? Because I think me and Gage are going live at Leslie. Is it 8 or 9, Leslie? Do you remember? I mean, I can do it anytime. I can do it morning. I can do it lunch. I can do it. Got it. Oh my gosh. And that's the good thing about it is, the tax purposes, I mean, yeah, it, yeah. Thank you, Chloe. Thank you so much. And like I said, I don't have anything to hide. I'm totally 100% legit. I mean, I went to Budweiser. I, I, I'll go to the devil and talk to him. I don't care. I mean, the way I look at it is casinos and stuff. They put stuff out there, for Gamblers Anonymous and stuff like that. And I mean, what's a better write off, for an alcohol company than kennels for rehab? I mean, I hate to put it like that, but if y'all think about it from a business perspective, and I mean, Chloe, I think you'll agree, as far as a business perspective, it's a great write off for an alcohol company or stuff like that, a cigarette company, an alcohol company, any kind of addiction. I mean, in my case, well, I guess it could be opioids. I mean, I guess I could go to the pharmaceutical companies, for the opioids, but I don't think drug dealers would be donating to the kennels like for like the illegal stuff. Oh Lord, there's that warning label. Thank God I come with one. Y'all, I really do appreciate y'all. I had no idea that we may even think about going 2 hours, and y'all have made this. I guess I really needed it. I mean, that's what I'm saying, Lucy. I mean, it's a way for them to pay it back. I mean, and I'm not saying that they cause it. I mean, because we're all responsible for what we cause in our life. But I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I, I'll go talk to the devil. All the devil can do is hang up on me. And hell, he's afraid I'll take over anyway. So, Chloe, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I mean, used to a lot of people they didn't understand addiction, but y'all got to admit in the last Well, David's been gone 6 years, so I'll say probably 10 years. In the last 10 years, it's like more and more people understand addiction because there's so many families that are hit by addiction now. Used to, it wasn't that prevalent. Addiction was like that taboo. And now, I'm not saying this lightly at all, but you say you're an addict now, it's like I've got the flu. I mean, that's how prevalent it is. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing about it is I guess in a way with it being with the way everything is, I should start planning ahead, instead of trying to fundraise as I get the orders. Does that make sense? I mean, I'd like to have it in a day, to where I could go to the treasurer and say, we need 5 kennels over here. But for now, if it means fundraising and it means doing it, uh, what's it called? Not off the ground, but what's it called when you do homegrown, not homegrown? What's it called? Come on, Chloe. Come on, Buffy, Vanna. What's it called? Just watering the garden. My gosh, what time is it there? I got midnight here. If I was out watering my garden, they'd be sending me to rehab. That was a joke. Oh my gosh. It's sort of like, my channel, yeah, we got to start somewhere. And I mean, I think we did our first kennel 2 years ago. And I can't complain. 18 kennels in 2 years, I can't complain. Not with it being, what's it called, y'all? Come on. Not groundbreaking. Chloe, they say it like in elections and stuff, that they're not homegrown. They're, ah, what's it called? Oh, wow. Oh, well. Y'all know what I mean. If it means doing fundraisers and getting them out there, like I said, I would love to just go and say, "Hey, look, y'all, we need this many kennels. I need you to go build them here and go build them there," and to be able to do that. Yeah, what word are we looking for? We're looking for the word that's like homegrown or uh, slowly built, or um they use it a lot in elections that they're not homegrown. That's going to drive me crazy now. Organically? No, not organically. Grassroots. That's it. Thank you, Lucy. If I have to keep doing fundraisers and doing it the grassroots way, that's what we'll do. I don't care as long as the kennels get built and the kennels get put there, and addicts start going to recovery and we start saving lives. That's all that matters to me, and that's how I will end it. And I'm going to end it on whatever song will play because we always end it on a song. Um, Let me see what song will play. Hang on. I wrote these, so I guess shameful promotion, but they mean a lot to me. It's not going to play. Well, oh, it's not late there. Good job. It is not uploading not one song. Do y'all believe that? That's crazy. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Nope, it will not.
How can a person cause such rage?
Oh, I wrote this one too.
You destroy me at a tender age. Always so demeaning and critical, changing me to useless and pitiful. As an adolescent, you put me on Mazenor. For that I am fat forevermore. You gave me no emotional support, even when you forced me to abort. Always making me feel of no use. I left with him to flee your abuse. With him I would stay black and blue, battered and broken with no open arms from you. You would only say that I chose that life when I left you to become his wife. I had to play the hand I was dealt, so I learned to ignore any pain I felt. Since the very day I was born, I have been yours to forever scorn. I was always the one for you to persecute, damning me in ways I can never dispute. Has taken many mistakes, pitfalls and years, but I finally have the one to wipe my tears with. Marty's love, I have sifted through the mass destruction